for me, it's just if I like you, I like you. You know, like as a human being, and like I don't care if you're like blood family or like just a stranger. It's just a meeting. Like I love people's energy, and sometimes you can feel so close to a stranger, and you can be so uncomfortable with someone who's been around you for years.
When I came to the US that very first year in school, I was not allowed to be even like in the Spanish class, even though the rest of my classmates were. I had to dedicate that time for English, and my teachers would say that sometimes it's not good to go like back and forth and do like the Spanglish, especially in the early stages of learning a new language, because then you rely so much on translating it rather than just like learning it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then I learned it was assimilation.
I just say like amor, like love. I don't know, like a lot of love for culture and for people and for their culture, and like I don't know. I just think it's really interesting, like cool.
Welcome to Conviviendo, the show where we share stories for people who love community. My name is Jose Morales. I'm 23 and I'm here with...
Hi, my name is Sam. I'm 18 and I'm a senior in high school.
Hi everyone, my name is Karen Nunez. I am not in school. I am 25 years old and I'm a program consultant here at Convivir.
Hello, my name is Jadyn Nguyen. I'm 22 and I support with the podcast here at Convivir.
This is the first time having Jadyn.
Yes, how do you feel?
Kind of interesting. Like whenever people are recording, they're like, "I feel nervous." I'm like, "Why are you nervous?" Now
I get it.
Now you know, get it.
Now it's your turn.
Yeah.
No, we're so happy to have you today.
Yes, excited. So today's topic is personal versus cultural identity. We will explore a little bit of the personal points and like also the cultural, more in like the general area, and then we'll be comparing those two about us. And yeah, okay. So before we start, we have an popular opinion is cereal soup.
Cereal soup. Why not? It's literally liquid and then something that's like.
But it's a
hard.
breakfast.
No,
Is
but
breakfast can breakfast have soup?
I don't agree with that because
Soup
the
can be
crunchy part
breakfast.
of the cereal, I don't feel like
I don't.
it's...
Yeah, imagine you were like having like hard, like the soup wasn't cooked and it was just in the liquid.
Y'all don't put like chips in your soup, like tortilla chips.
Well, yeah, but then they end up getting like a little bit soggy anyway.
I actually don't like the sogginess.
I kind of disagree with that.
Oh wait, I want to go back to the breakfast comment. Who made it? Was it you? Jadyn?
Yeah,
Soup can be breakfast.
I mean, anything can be breakfast, but that's
what type of soup?
Yeah,
like chicken noodle soup.
But that's like when you're sick. You're supposed to be like cereal is supposed to be for the morning. In the morning is breakfast.
What if you eat cereal at night?
That's
that's true.
That's a snack. That's a snack. That's a soup.
But sometimes sometimes the cereal at night is my dinner at that point though.
But
like the only thing I eat.
Wait, so in order for something to be soup, then the thing needs to be
soggy.
soft?
Soft?
I think so.
I disagree.
I can agree with that. I agree with that.
I disagree with y'all, but
Anyways.
I think almost everyone said it's not soup.
It's just cereal. Okay. So our first question is your favorite hobby. And is that personal or cultural?
Oh, okay.
My favorite hobby. I love exercising. I love working out. Anything that has to do with active lifestyle, I'll do it. Except I'm not a big fan of outdoors, so don't invite me hiking on those.
What? You don't
I'm
like?
not a big fan of outdoors. It's like no. Es que y estoy morenito, like I get like even in don't come out. No, you should use the sunscreen. Blah blah. I don't like outdoors at all. Like I will do it once a year maybe, but anyways, my favorite hobby. Yeah, working out, exercise. I think that's very personal, just because I said yeah. I think it's very personal because I think throughout the years I use exercise as a therapy for myself.
Mm,
So
wow.
it's something that I just keep for myself. And I don't like having workout buddies, but
You don't like workout
I
buddies?
don't work out, but no,
Mm.
like I don't
Is that
mind.
like your me
It's
time?
my me time.
Mm.
Yeah, I usually like to just focus on myself. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, sounds nice.
Yeah. I have a couple of hobbies that I don't know, I love. I love writing and I love reading. I feel like writing is kind of like a personal hobby, and I think the reading comes from like my fam, especially my grandmother. I think that could stem from like a cultural thing.
Mhm.
My grandma would have like collections of like magazines and books, and that's something that I just started doing during my free time. And then I let go of it for a while, and then came back to it, and I love it. So I feel like reading and writing are like definitely my top two.
Cool.
What about you, Sam?
I'd say I really enjoy writing in my free time. I don't do it often, but when I do, it's like really calming. And I'd say it's like personal because it's a way of like writing down all of my thoughts
Yeah.
and like things that I feel like have to like stay with like myself. Like I can't
Mhm.
expose that to the outside world. So it's like
Yeah.
just me time.
Is it just like
To flow, like to let
yeah,
it flow
yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's like if I was like writing my diary. Like, dear
Yeah.
diary.
Do
Would-
you do like poetry, or is it just like literally writing?
No, it's just writing. I can't do poetry.
No, I
What-
I
love
love
poetry.
poetry.
Where'd you learn that
Yeah.
though? Like, how did it become a personal thing for you?
I think it was just because I didn't have very many people to go to. Like,
Mm.
so one day I was like, how can I express what I want to say and like release everything that I need to?
Mm.
Yeah,
And that's how it like became a thing.
that's
That's
very
sweet.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love that
I
though.
love it.
You're Jaden.
Jadyn?
One of my favorite hobbies is just like watching movies. So I'd say it's a personal thing. What's kind of interesting is my whole family watches. Like, if I go to my grandparents' house, who are they live in Denver. What's kind of interesting, it's a multi-generational household too. So
Mhm.
like I'll see my uncle who's also watching just his favorite movies. My grandmother does the same thing. Um, but it was not necessarily taught to me, but it was just something that I picked up. But yeah, watching movies is a personal hobby or practice of mine, I would say, and
Do
I enjoy it.
Do you have a favorite movie?
One of my all-time favorite movies would have to be like The Lion King. It's the one movie that made me cry as a kid. I remember.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I think movies do a really cool job of like telling stories in an interesting way and almost teaching us without like formally
yeah.
teaching
For
us.
sure. Oh my gosh, I love movies.
What's your favorite movie?
You can't ask that.
Too late.
I love too many movies.
Give me your top 3 then.
Top three. Top three. Nightmare Before Christmas.
Okay.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Oh, we talked about it before, right? Tim
Yeah.
Burton movies. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim Burton movies are great. I really like. You made me like blank. I know so many movies and now I can't think of any. I don't know.
what about shows?
Uh,
She's
That's
like,
also-
"Mm-mm."
yeah, sure, like some here and there, but like not that crazy about them.
Okay.
Movies are way better. in my opinion.
Yeah. What about you, Jose?
I love movies too a lot. I remember my parents used to take me as a baby to movie theater because I was so quiet I would not cry. And then like they used to tell me that when they will arrive to a movie theater with a baby, like everyone will look like, "Are you guys crazy? Like, why are you bringing a baby?" Okay, but one of my favorite movies, I think it's The Hunger Games because I read all the books first and then I watched the movie. So I was a big
Mm.
fan, like before. I was a big fan of the whole story, and I think that's a very personal thing. I do share like time. I spend time with my family in movies, but I would say it's like that blending of both of like me loving it, but also being able to share with my family and my friends. Well, most
Yeah.
of my friends like they don't like horror movies. I love thriller
Okay.
They're
movies.
scary.
Like I like the
No.
sweating part. Like,
Oh
what's gonna
no.
happen?
I,
But
yeah,
yeah, thanks for sharing.
I feel like I'm trying to connect this with what's interesting about nowadays. I feel like they do a lot of kind of remakes of
Mhm.
what I consider to be cultural stories. So
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all seen the Monkey King on Netflix.
No.
That's like it's essentially a folk. It's a movie now, but it's like an old Chinese folk tale about this monkey king, this super powerful monkey who's tasked with protecting this Buddhist monk who's making a journey. So it tells a story of like resilience and like kind of how to humble yourself.
Mhm.
Um, and it's based off a real like monk who made that journey. But I don't know if there's
Oh.
like a super powerful monkey that protected him. But
Mm.
but they've made that into a real thing now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I'm such a Disney fan.
Mhm.
Um, I love Camp Rock, love
Nice,
Okay.
me too.
High School Musical,
Yeah.
and like one of the most recent movies that I just like became obsessed with is Encanto.
Mm.
Okay.
Which one is that one?
The like
Like the house sings, right?
the house sings,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
there's like a really strict grandmother.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
yeah,
They have like all
Wait,
that's
these
they're
like
rules.
Colombians or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
yeah,
is
Okay.
Colombia.
that's literally how I grew up.
Can you say more? What does that mean?
Yeah. So my grandmother, I grew up with my grandmother, and she was really strict, and I feel like I always had to meet certain expectations, like her expectations. And my mom was supportive, but we really all looked up to her because she was um my grandmother made a lot of sacrifices, and she protected her house, still does, with her entire
Mhm.
being, because it's like something that she worked so hard to obtain. She built it, and she does have a little bit of land that she has shared within like the family, more like the granddaughters. But I resonated with the story because it's like the like main character and her sister who are completely different, and I feel like that's me and my sister as well. But I don't know, I'm still so obsessed with the soundtrack. Like
Mm.
sometimes
Oh
I
my
just
gosh,
listen
yes.
to it like on my way to work, and I feel like I also was able to connect with the culture aspect, and this the story, and also like how they highlighted the culture as well. It was beautifully made, I think. Um, but just like for funsies and like personal, it has to be Camp Rock and like High School Musical. Yeah. Yeah.
Sweet. And then, because I'm not sure about it, was that like more personal then,
The Encanto,
like the Cambrook and the other
Camp
ones,
Rock, and High School Musical, I feel like it was personal.
personal.
And then like because I related to the story of Encanto, in my own culture,
So that
that's
was more
why
like,
I think it's more cultural.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm.
And then,
Depends on the story almost.
yeah,
Yeah.
now that you mentioned about that, how do you think your relationships are based on like, is it more
Mm,
because your culture and your family, like kind of inspire you or like taught you how to connect with other people,
yeah.
or do you think that now at this point in your life you're like, no, I actually decide my relationships because it's the way I feel and the way I
Yeah.
want to flow in society?
To be honest, I'm still trying to figure that out,
Why is
because
that?
I feel like sometimes, um I feel like things are coming from like my own decisions, but there have been some cases where like I catch myself and I'm like, wait, but this is like how I grew up, or this is how my mom did it, or this is how what my grandma said I should do things. And so it has taken a lot of reflections. Like even the way that I hold my relationships, I feel like parts of it is things that I've learned, and how much I've healed, and like really looking at which decisions are just mine and come from me versus again like how I was raised and what people around me always told me to do. I'm still trying to figure it out.
Do you have like a recent example that you like make the reflection of like, stopping yourself and be, am I doing it because it's more personal than?
Yeah. Like I don't know if this is like a Mexican thing, or but there's always like beef with uncles and aunts for some
Okay.
reason, and
Yeah.
like cousins here and there, right? And I feel like the way that I've again held my relationships and how I am around my loved ones is that I think I'm a really nice person, and I oftentimes like don't want to get into arguments. And so I just keep my boundaries, and I'm very sure of what I want and how I want these relationships like to flourish. But at times when I do want to go off on someone, or when I'm becoming mad, I think that's how my family dynamic has been, where like there's a lot of drama, there's a lot of arguments, and um crossing of boundaries. And so I feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, I think this is just because like how my mom acted, or how my grandma spoke about these situations. But then once I reflect on it, I'm like, no, I actually like don't want to have beef with anyone.
Okay, like
Like
just
don't want
me, myself, and
drama.
I.
Yeah, like I don't want drama. I don't want to like hold resentment.
Yeah,
But
that's a you thing now.
yeah, but I feel like at least in my culture, it's very heavy when there's disagreements, and they may be approached in an unhealthy
Mhm.
way.
Mhm.
But
Your example actually made me think of in my family. So the way that I grew up, we were kind of basically taught that like if you're older, like people who are older, you should show them more respect, but
Mhm.
also they should the older people should take care of the younger people
mm,
generally. And specifically an example would be um like when I'm going out with my cousins, I'm one of the oldest ones. Um but like recently we went to King Supers, for example, and we were just buying like snacks and stuff. I would like to say that I, like, bought a snacks, but, like, I don't got it like that yet right now. Like, I can't just buy because I have my own I pay rent. I live with a roommate right now, so,
yeah,
like, even though, like, I feel like culturally it's my responsibility to take care of my younger cousins,
Mhm.
it wouldn't be smart for me to, buy snacks when, like, technically I should be putting that money towards, like,
yeah,
rent. So it's almost like a personal clash of, like, culturally I should take care of them, but, the does that mean somebody else is gonna help me pay for my rent?
Yeah.
Which is,
yeah.
like what is okay too, but and I kinda struggle with asking for help, truthfully. But that
Hmm.
made me think of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Sam?
When Karen was like talking about her example, it made me think about something recent that happened to me, where I was like just hanging out with someone, and I don't know, we're like like we just got into an argument, and I just like started blowing up. I was just like yelling and this and that, and they were like, "You're acting like your mom. Like you're doing
Whoa.
Mm.
what your mom would
Yeah.
do, and you don't like that, and but you're doing that right now." And I was like, "Dang, you're not wrong." And I
Mm,
was like, so I was like, I had to like take it in for a second, and I was like, "Whoa, like why am I doing that? Like I don't like when people do that to me. So why
Mhm.
am I doing that to someone else?"
yeah.
Right? And I was just like, it was just like it's the way that I grew up, you know, like to get my mom's attention, I would start arguments with her because
Wow.
she was busy a lot. So the only way I thought to get her attention was arguments. So I think
Mm.
if I want someone's attention, I start an argument with them. And I'm like,
Mm,
no, 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 that ain't right.
yeah.
I can see that. I feel like in my case, I was very aware of how my family from both sides have very unhealthy ways to relate in society in general and relationships. So I decided to actually take it more as more like the individual like part of myself relating with other people.
Mhm.
So I actually cut, those traits that my family were
Mhm.
trying to pass me, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. So
Yeah.
I can see very like strong the personal uh identity in the way I relate the dynamic in relationships,
Mhm.
because I
Yeah.
am very aware how my family used to, connect with people, and I did not like it and I did not agree. And I'm talking just in the general part.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just, if I like you, I like you, like as a human being. And if, like, I don't care if
Right.
you're like blood family, or like, well, just a stranger.
Yeah.
It's just a meeting. Like, I love people's energy, and sometimes you can feel so close to a stranger, and
Mhm.
you can, be
Mhm.
so uncomfortable with someone who's been, around you for years. So
Blood.
For
Yeah.
yeah, so
sure. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry, family.
It's I think it's
But
yeah, I think it takes a lot of mental energy to, I think, do some of these reflections, right? And like identify like what is coming from you, what has been passed down, what is part of like your core culture. And Jadyn, when you were talking about your example, it made me think of how I've heard a lot of friends say that they are their parents' retirement plan,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've had conversations around that where it's like I love my family, but I also like have responsibilities and I have bills to pay. And like, how do I approach things in a way with like grace, so that way they know that I'm still there for them and I'm supporting, but at the same time I have to take care of myself.
yeah,
Yeah.
talking about stories, guys. Uh, do you have a favorite story?
Oh, hmm. So Cinderella, like the the Cinderella
Yeah,
story. Like I literally
Prince
had
Charming.
a collection of Disney books, and I for some reason just gravitated towards Cinderella like so much in the story. And I remember like rereading the book like so many times. Like
I'm
even though
reading Beauty and the Beast, the book.
oh,
Was it
oh
a
my
chapter
gosh.
book or is it a picture book?
No, like a chapter book.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like
The
Oh,
Beauty and the Beast chapter
I
book?
did not know that.
I didn't know
yeah.
that either because mine were like
What?
picture
Yeah.
books.
No, that's like
Yeah.
a like
More
a
like the
real like book. Yeah, of the beauty. Yeah, it's
I
Oh
think
Oh.
my
I think it is like
gosh.
a old story. I'd have to assume.
yeah,
Or
but I do have the Disney version,
Mhm.
but it's very like it has like all the details of the whole full story, and like I
What?
did not know like the before like about the story of the prince.
Yeah.
Like I read the first chapter, and it was about the prince like just caring about beauty in general,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
not having ugly people around him,
Oh
something
my
like that.
gosh.
Like, but it gives like so many details about the story, which is so nice that you don't see in the movies. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What? I'm gonna need this book.
Yeah, let us
It's one
know
of my
how it
favorite
is.
movies.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Cinderella. I don't know. I just connected with the story, and it might have been probably like a cultural thing because I don't know. I feel like everyone in my family just really, really loved the Cinderella story,
Mm.
and
What about it? Like, is it like getting chosen by somebody, or finding a partner, or
like I don't. I actually, wow, that's a great question.
like finding the right shoe?
I think it's the journey of like the challenges. Like I think that's life in general. Like so much happens, and you might get mistreated.
Mhm.
Mm.
And especially with Cinderella, like it was her family,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
And
Ah,
despite all of those challenges and barriers that she had, she was still able to like find love and be happy. Um, so yeah, my grandma literally made me a Cinderella dress.
dang.
Oh, that's sweet.
She used to make wedding dresses, and I just remember wanting the Cinderella dress, and I hated like the ones that were sold,
Mm-hmm.
like by the Disney brand, because I was just like, it does not look like the one in the movie or the book. Like, no. And I remember trying to find the perfect Cinderella dress, and I was just like, "Can you make it for me?
Oh,
Can you
that's
make
like
it?" And it ended
sick.
up turning out like really like good. Like it was so like it was perfect.
Authentic to it.
Have you
Yeah.
watched the Cinderella movie with Camila Cabello?
No.
I watched the Selena Gomez one.
Really? You
Oh
should, because I
yeah.
think like, because I've seen how people now analyze the stories of the princess, and they
Yeah.
have different
Mhm.
actually like goals and dreams,
Mhm.
and the the part of finding love and the Prince Charming, it's actually more like in the journey, not part of like the final goal.
Yeah.
And like for example, Cinderella with Camila Cabello, like her dream is actually to design dresses,
Hmm.
to like become, a businesswoman.
Mhm.
And it takes, it's a very strong reflection of finding love. It's just in the journey, but not the final, destination, I guess. So I think that
Yeah.
now, especially girls, because like, they tell them, oh, you have to find love to be happy. Like,
Yeah.
if they really like change the stories, and put it in another way, to like, that was not the goal of the movie, that the goal was like, for example, the Little Mermaid, she wanted to
Mhm.
whack, she did not like really wanted to
I did not know that.
fall in love, like her goal wanted to like experience the earth, and not
Yeah.
swim like all the time. And
Yeah.
I think it's nice to now
You made
see
me
it.
wow, like
Yeah.
now you're making me think because I feel like in my family like how I grew up, like the ultimate goal was to find that person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And like my grandparents have been married for I don't know, like almost 50 years.
Together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, now like you're making me
I mean, even the way I
Mm.
asked you I noticed myself, the way I asked you the question, I kind of assumed that, like, so I'll say truthfully for me, the way that I understand the Cinderella story is like a, it's like a girl who is like just mistreated, but she finds her Prince Charming, and that is the story. That's the point of
No,
the
and
story.
actually, she
Mm-mm.
wanted to go to the dance, or what is it called, the balls
the
or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
balls,
yeah.
yeah.
That was her dream,
Really?
and then
Yeah.
she found the prince. I that's escuping. She found the prince at the place, but like her dream, it was like, dress up
To
nice and
go.
feel like
Just to
pretty
feel
enough
pretty
to
almost.
go there.
Oh,
Mhm.
like
So
feel
like,
worthy
Okay.
but
almost.
yeah, but people like, I guess like the old, generations
Yeah.
taught us, and no, it was to find the love.
The love.
Well,
Yeah.
like I
Yeah.
think that's the power of stories, though. Like, because you can write it. Technically, from my understanding, it's like communication. Um, like the way I talk to you all is going to be different how I talk to like my cousin, who
Mm-hmm.
I just hang out
Mhm.
with
Mm-hmm.
just casually, because like this is like work, if you will.
Yeah.
But even with the Cinderella story, it's making I'm almost like tripping right now because like what is it that because again
Yeah.
I'm like I did not know that was the case. Is
Like
really what I'm
yeah.
This
saying.
is literally like
Meta.
exhibit A of like
Yes.
personal versus
Yeah.
cultural.
Yeah,
Like I am
exactly.
having a moment right now. I'm like I wonder why I'm still trying to figure things out. Like it requires a lot of
Yeah.
reflection.
For
Mm-hmm, it
sure.
does.
Wow.
No, and one of my favorite stories about is it was about the red bracelet, or what is it
Wait, what
called?
is that? What is
Like
The
that?
Yeah.
red
like the red string.
string.
Is it just
Yes.
is
Oh my
it
gosh, I love that.
What is
It's about, it comes from the Chinese culture, and it's about you being connected to the right people. I
Mhm.
don't like to put it, because a lot of people put it in like the romantic way. Oh, you
Yeah,
have,
I
yeah.
thought it was
one
the
soulmate, and
romantic.
that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
I was like, actually, it's more general. It's like the right people are connected to you, and they're gonna find you no matter what. So I love believing in that. Like, it's such a, nice vision of the future,
Mm.
and like,
Oh, red string.
yeah,
Wait.
Oh my goodness. Wait. I can we look up like what is it really that people see it as like the romantic or like
Could you
yeah. I
Think
think,
yeah.
can you pull that
can you
back
go
up,
back? Yeah,
Sebastian?
yeah.
I think they put it.
Yeah, look, it says the red thread of
Which,
marriage.
yeah,
Oh.
That's also like you think about
but yeah, go ahead.
I bring up so that I think from an evolutionary perspective, people talk about marriage and the value of love because
One true love.
Mhm.
our
Yeah.
our kind of jobs as humans is to find somebody to have kids
A
with.
real. Yeah.
Mhm.
But like we live in a
Mhm.
world now where we don't have to have kids.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
nowadays, like people, even with marriages, like I've heard that divorce rates are higher because like nobody, like women, for example, don't have to rely on a dude for money. Some women make more
Mhm.
than guys.
But I think I started wearing it. I don't have it anymore, but
Oh, you wear it?
I was used to wear the red bracelet,
Yeah.
but because my grandpa was wearing it. And
Whoa,
he believed in just having good vibes and
I
good
want
people
one.
around it. Yeah, so
Yeah.
like my mom started wearing it, and then me and my siblings started wearing it for my grandpa. So now like I changed that vision of actually thinking about the people that is meant to be in my life with that red thing.
It's almost like a tattoo to like or like it's a symbol to
Yeah, it
identify
is.
people.
Yeah. So
That's
I
cool.
would say like, and then because I don't believe in finding just one true love. I feel
Yeah.
like you can have many
I feel like it's
loves of your
common.
life. Yeah,
It's
and then
common
they
nowadays.
can come in so different shapes. Like your friend can be,
Yeah.
one of your true loves, and your
Yeah.
mom can be your true love too. Like it's so many ways to explore love. So
For sure.
yeah,
Wow.
I know ya me va a dar hambre. What's your favorite food? Your favorite food? What's your favorite food? This is like getting to know each other. Like when you go to a first date and like, what's your favorite color?
Like little icebreakers that you have at
I know,
school.
like. So, what's your favorite food? Are you allergic to something before I kill you in the first date?
What?
I used to be allergic to eggs.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
I grew out of it though.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
okay.
good.
What
I was
what
allergic to bananas.
reaction?
I couldn't breathe.
Oh.
Wow.
Wait, bananas?
Yeah, to bananas. It was like,
You
it was,
itchy
yeah,
throats?
itchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, not anymore.
Oh my
Mm.
gosh.
I eat all types of bananas.
Sam, you said something?
Me? No.
Oh.
No, okay. No, my favorite food. I love my mom's enchiladas.
Oh,
Love them.
yes.
Like
Red or
no,
green?
green. Green
Okay.
enchiladas.
I don't like green enchiladas.
Oh my gosh.
I grew up with the red ones.
And I don't like the red ones.
Do you wait,
Whoa.
is it like enchiladas with cheese?
Like con like cheese and
Mm.
pollo.
Oh.
Yeah. They're like she makes them like in like a pan, so it's like a layer of like
Oh wait, I'm
like
confusing
mushroom
with
cream.
chilaquiles. Sorry.
No, okay.
Oh yeah, I love enchiladas. Green. Yeah, green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
Enchiladas. And like I don't like I love them. Like when I was little, she'd only make them on like special occasions. And she still does. It's
Oh.
like for my birthday or for like Christmas or Thanksgiving, and it's like one of those like special dishes that you only had like every once in a while. And me and my brother would be like, "Mom, can you make green enchiladas?" And she'd be
Mm.
like, "No, because they're too hard to make."
Well,
So one time I was like, "Ma, I'll help you make the green
oh.
enchiladas." That's how bad I
Oh.
wanted them. I was like, I will help you. Teach me how. And so now I'd be like, I help my mom make the green enchiladas.
I prefer to do
Oh.
it enchiladas in the oven just because it's easier.
That's how she makes them.
Yeah,
She puts them in
right.
the oven.
No, because my mom like fries
Yeah,
it
my
like
mom fries the
tortilla,
sauce.
like
You do
each
that?
one, and
It's
she's
I mean
like,
the tortilla, yeah.
No,
yeah.
like
Oh.
it's because my mom makes them interesting. Like fríe las tortillas, like she does fry the tortillas, but then she like layers everything. So she like does like a layer of like a cream,
And then put it in the
and
oven.
then like
Mm.
tortilla
Oh,
and cheese and
that's like
chicken.
Is that her
extra. Like,
own like is that her own kind of like taste or recipe, or is that the cultural thing that a cultural
That's
recipe that's been
been
passed on?
no, because we like fry it, or sometimes like we make it just to the oven just to not
Mhm.
fry it, right?
My mom
Am
does
I
both.
am I right or am I
Is it
wrong?
something well like did
Depends.
like her mom do it the same way or did she was it her like
I honestly,
creation?
I don't know. I've never asked her. Maybe I should ask her. Because now you guys made me
Yeah.
curious.
I love they're called entomatadas because they're kind of
Entomatadas.
like
Yes.
Like enchiladas,
enchiladas,
pero no
but they have
picos.
a tomato
Tomato base.
sauce.
So
I
everything we eat is
oh my god,
tortilla.
it's literally those
See the
and
memes?
I relate to what you said
Right?
because they're only made like in special occasions. Like if I'm having a really bad week, like I'll have to
Make it.
I have to have
Make
my
it.
mom make it.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
mom has to make it,
They
and
have
I believe that has been passed
Mm.
down. That's entomatadas.
That makes sense.
What about you, Jadyn?
I was just gonna say steak. But
Why?
like yeah, I think there's a lot of cultural foods that I like, but for the
Mhm.
sake of the conversation, like to me, if eating a steak like at just a Texas Roadhouse is
Mm.
just is a
Mm.
symbol, and I'd say in my family for even personally, like you did something good, and to reward yourself. There's actually this I was talking to some people. I just remembered this. There's this like Korean adage or saying. I don't know how to
Mhm.
say it, but it essentially translates to like eat well or eat up, eat as much as you can because
Mhm.
the times will be tough and this meal is not guaranteed.
Oh,
So
okay.
like get as much energy from it
Oh,
so that you can persevere. So I try to take that
Wow.
into account whenever I'm eating.
that's right.
That's
My
cute.
my favorite food is lasagna, and it's very like personal, but also I wouldn't. No, it's not cultural. It's not cultural because lasagna. Come on, guys.
It's Italian. Lasagna is
Yeah,
Italian, right?
it's Italian. So my parents, one of my aunties, had the recipe of the lasagna, and then she passed it to my parents. And my
Nice.
parents only make that dish like also in very like special
Mhm.
occasions and like Christmas or like big dinners with family. So I love lasagna and homemade lasagna because it's a big difference. It's not the same to go like Olive Garden or like no, it's like
Frozen.
yeah, no, like
Yeah.
it, especially because my one of my aunties, she prepares like the whole tomato sauce and it has like a special
Oh.
flavor in it. Like it's not like
Unique
something
That's
that
a
you
lot
flavor.
of
buy.
work.
It's unique.
It is a lot of work. Yeah, it is, but it's worth it.
It's a labor
That
of love.
sounds worth it.
Yeah,
Now I'm
it's like all day cooking
hungry.
lasagna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Me
me too.
too.
Me five. Me five.
Anyways, ya, pásenos el sándwich.
Las gomitas.
Las gomitas.
Gummies.
Next. Director.
Oh, this was an
Mm.
interesting one.
Jewelry.
Is your jewelry
Oh.
personal or
Oh
cultural?
my gosh.
So let me see. I took it off because I've been going to the sauna with Alejandro, and
Mhm.
it gets hot, so I
Oh
took off
my
my
god, I
necklace.
cannot do saunas.
It's so good
I
for you,
prefer to
I've heard.
die
What?
in the cold
Oh,
and
like,
like because that's the way I see it.
Oh my
but I
gosh.
have this like this gold bracelet that
Oh, I love
this one particularly I don't know if you can see this one I got from my grandmother when I graduated high school, and it's a personal thing, and I learned that my grandmother does this for her grandchildren,
it.
for us,
Yeah.
as a literally as like insurance policy. So like if the times are bad, then like you go to the pawn shop and sell it, so you have some cash. So
Yeah.
that's her way of like taking care of
Mhm.
Oh,
us.
that's
Yeah.
sweet. Is there ones that you can take it out, or
The-
because
uh,
I know some of them they like.
The
Oh
Like
yeah,
they
permanent.
oh, I
the
could take this off.
permanently?
Yeah, I
yeah.
could take
Okay,
this off.
okay.
Yeah.
Mm. Wow.
I don't know how much it's worth. I kind of wonder, but
You'll find out one
I think,
day.
but I think,
Hopefully, you don't have to find out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hopefully you don't.
You're fine. I hope you don't find out.
thanks, guys. Thanks.
No, my jewelry is also very like it was passed because like from my mom's side they love jewelry and like
Mm.
always having like some accessories. So I usually always have something. Not any. I used to have more accessories. I feel like now I don't that much.
Mhm.
But I think jewelry has a lot to do with my family.
Mm.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like it's a mixture of both. Like right now, I'm wearing like my rings that I always wear.
It's your family's rings,
Um,
no? Right?
no,
Oh.
these are personal. Like
Oh.
I have my college graduation ring, and then like some other ones that I've gotten from like one from my best friend, one that I've had for a long time, one from the person that does my nails, and then the other one that I just got in Oregon. But I recently had a conversation with my grandmother. And I do have a ring that she passed down to me that I never wear. Where I wear it in special occasions because I lose my rings and necklaces, like
Rings are hard to
everything.
keep though.
Oh
Yeah,
my
like I'm
gosh.
surprised that I've kept this stack. But yeah, I had a conversation with her and she was like, "Do you remember when you were like younger that you really liked this ring that had a like violet purple stone?" And I was like, "No, I don't remember." And she's like, "Well, I just wanted to let you know that I had your cousin pick a ring a while ago, and I didn't want to say anything, but it's the ring that you liked. So I just wanted to give you a heads up because I'm going to let you choose another ring, but I feel really bad that your cousin took it because I
Hmm.
know that that's the ring that you liked when you were younger." I was like, no, it's okay. Like, if you give me another ring of yours, like that
That's a
means
big
the world to me, because she's very
privilege.
protective of her
Yes.
rings. And so my cousin showed me a picture of the ring, and I noticed that we have the same taste, like my grandma and I. And she also used to wear like a stack of like rings all the time. So I'm like, maybe without even thinking about it, I got that from my grandmother because I just spent so much time with her, and we do have the same taste. But as far as like some of the pieces that I'm wearing right now, it's like personal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I have to like agree with Guttin on the. It's like a mixture of like personal and like cultural. It's like because like I wear like 2 necklaces like all the time, and they're like very personal to me. But there's like other times where it's like on very special occasions, like my mom lets me wear her like quince ring or even like
Oh,
her engagement ring just because they're so pretty, and I'm like, why are you letting me borrow these? I'm gonna lose
Like,
them.
yeah.
Perder.
Why? I like to
So, yeah.
take off the rings when I'm washing my hands, so I
Oh,
keep
yeah.
losing my rings because
No, because one
I'll
time
put it in a pack.
one time I lost a ring because I took it off to wash my hands and I left it on the sink. And when I
Oh.
remembered about it, I went back to the
Yeah.
bathroom because it was at school, and the
It
ring
was
was
good.
gone.
The ring was so-
No.
I was like, at least it wasn't my mom's. It was one of mine, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So if we can choose a favorite necklace. Do you have a favorite necklace?
I like I can't choose a favorite. It's like my 2 favorites. It's just these
Oh, you
2.
are wearing both.
Yeah. It's like I
that's
never take them
right.
off. One has like my brother's ashes in it,
Oh,
and the other one was given to me by my partner.
the same.
So it's
Oh.
like I never
For
take
how
them
long
off.
you have those necklace?
This one, my brother's, I've had it for I think 4 years.
Okay.
And the one for my partner is like a year ago.
Oh, sweet.
Oh,
I have a
sweet.
necklace that has almost a decade.
Oh my
Dang.
gosh.
Yeah,
Wow.
Dang.
it's very.
That's a
It's
long
been through a
time.
lot, like me, but it still shines.
Me.
They have a favorite playground though.
Playground game.
A game.
I don't actually
I
know.
did
if-
not play when I was just kidding.
That's not true. That can't be true. I really liked Cops and Robbers, which is just like a common game, I guess you could say.
Yeah, mine. I think mine too.
Yeah,
It was
I like
yeah.
the team part.
In
of it.
Spanish, we call it policías y ladrones.
Mm-hmm.
I love catching the bad guys, and I love being the last one to be caught in the other team.
What is the one that like there you draw some squares on the floor?
Hopscotch?
Hopscotch.
That one. Oh my god. I was
Yes.
obsessed with that.
In Spanish, it's mama leche.
Mama leche?
Really?
Sí, en Chihuahua, we call it mama leche.
De
I
veras?
think we
Yeah,
call
I
it
think so, right?
something
What?
different in Torreon. There's
Yeah.
no way.
From Chihuahua?
Yeah, in
I've-
Chihuahua, we call
I've
it mama.
never
A ver,
heard
let
it
me see if
called
it.
mama leche.
I think, yeah. A ver.
I need to know.
Can you look it up there or no?
Let's have the
Yes.
director.
Mama leche.
Mama
Yes.
leche? Wait, now I want to ask my mom. Oh my goodness, I
What?
love how like some of these conversations are
Por mama
encouraging
leche,
us
como
to
sí.
talk to parents.
We call it
Right?
Oh
mama leche.
wow.
Wait,
I'll have
why?
to go ask
What
my
is?
mom.
Yeah, why?
I don't know. I don't know what it
It
has to do
literally-
with mama milk,
Yeah,
It
right,
literally
that's what
says
the-
yeah.
right?
but I
Uh,
guess, yeah.
it does not make sense, but oh well.
Wow.
I mean, in Chihuahua, we like everything with milk
You're
or
right.
anything with lactose. So I guess even the games would put like mama leche.
Yes, you're
names.
not wrong.
That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
What about you, Sam?
I really liked hide and seek, like playing hide and seek with my cousins. Like it was just so fun,
Aw.
and a lot of the times we'd play at like night. So it'd be
Outside?
like,
Did you play
yeah.
outside in the
Oh,
night?
yeah.
That was the best feeling.
Why would you
Right?
do that?
It adds
Because
to
we
it.
Like
love
Adds
horror
to it.
movies.
Adds to
It was like so
What?
fun.
And like, or you find someone or you find something.
Right? It's
Which
like
was the
you
fun.
like touch something and you're like, oh god, please tell me, please tell me it's you.
Yeah, like, ya te encontré. Like, yeah.
Like encontré,
They're like,
¿verdad?
just get out.
Move.
Please, the shadow, move. Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah. Sometimes we'd play with like BB guns.
Dang, that's
So if
intense.
you found someone, you'd like shoot
Oh
them.
my god.
So it'd be
I'm.
like hide and seek, but like you chase them. So like if you're found, you have like a chance to
Oh
run.
my
But
god,
if you get
that's
shot with the BB
that's
gun,
aggressive.
aggressive.
and sometimes
Baby gets hurt.
they do.
You get
I know
found
from
and then shot.
experience. But like I don't know, they were just it was so fun to play those games and like scary at times. Like
Yeah.
we'd just be like yelling in the middle
But
of
that
the night.
adrenaline that you feel like.
Oh yeah. Maybe
I
that's why I
love
like
that.
horror movies.
Yeah, me too.
I like to
Right?
be
But nobody wants to
inside.
go with me. I'm
That's
out.
me now.
I'm like,
no.
whoa, that's a little bit extreme for me.
And me and Sam, yes. And then when
Well,
you see shadows.
I remember that my grandma wouldn't even allow me to play hide and seek like outside when it was dark. She let me play it once, literally one time in
Dang.
what 13 years.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I'm just like, no, inside. I'll stay inside.
No. Me, I had like
Dang.
a lot. It's just because my family, like from my dad's, they used to live. We used to meet in my grandma's, so it was like a small, like pueblito. How does it call like a small
Like a
town?
little town.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like it was very safe to go
Mm.
outside and like play in the night. And then in my city, I used to live like in a very private area, so also it was very safe to be outside in the night. So I grew up like being like
Yeah.
around midnight outside playing with my friends and
Right?
cousins. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'd go with my cousins to like one specific cousin's house, and they lived in like a little ranchito.
Mm-hmm.
So their house was like blocked off, and other houses were like miles away
Mm-hmm.
from their house. So
Yeah.
it's like we just be running around. Like their yard was huge. Like
Mhm.
their front and backyard was huge. So we just
The
have
backyards,
so many
yeah.
places to hide. And it was like so fun because they had the horses, so we'd hide like by the
Mhm.
horse stables or something and be
My
like,
grandma used to
"Mame."
have a very big garden, so it was
Oh
like
my
a lot
gosh.
of trees and like
Wow.
flowers that you can just
Playing
cover
ground.
yourself in it. Yeah, so it was
Oh my
like
gosh.
a lot of tricks. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that you guys are speaking Spanglish.
I'm like, yes,
Because
I don't know how to say mama leche in English.
Well, I think that's what's interesting about language though. Like I literally did not know that like English wasn't the okay.
Okay.
For example though, like there's no like central language, but
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
language helps you to learn about the world. Like it helps you to make meaning of the world. But what I'm trying to say is like not everything is going to directly translate to English.
Yeah.
And so I say for me,
yeah.
I don't yet speak Vietnamese yet. I'm still learning.
Mhm.
Duolingo is actually really great. It's helped me the
Mm.
most. But even then, like there are some things like I remember when Tanya first made her nonprofit, she was telling me like this word doesn't necessarily translate to English, but
Mhm.
I'm assuming you all know.
Mm.
Do you
Mm,
get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Mhm.
you all can understand it differently than I do, just because I don't yet speak Spanish, which is
Mhm.
pretty meta.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that, but
Whoa.
also I feel like it depends in your family values because like I know in my family because compared to like other Mexicans that we've met here, they have a very different vocabulary.
Or like dialect.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so for example, I grew up not hearing my grandparents or my parents saying like bad words in Spanish
Mm.
unless they're really mad. But I will never say bad words in like at all, like unless I'm also really mad. But like we it's not very common in my vocabulary to use some word, and
Mm.
like also things like way in Spanish, which is like
Mhm.
like bro, dude. And that's very racist to people to say like, oh, like when they try to imitate Mexican, it's like way, like I don't use way, and like if I say way in a text, that's not me. I'm letting you
Something's
know.
wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I will never use like that words or like use like things like I don't think I can say it, but
Yeah.
but like very common like Spanish like words.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
that's I was taught to be very polite,
Mm.
and I think because for example, my grandpa was always in the political feel, so he
Mm.
will have to speak very formal and very
Mhm.
respectful, and like so it was passed to me and my siblings to always be very polite and respectful and careful with the words we use.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have the opposite experience of that because
Me too.
I feel like my grandmother never liked any of us to say bad words, but my mother
Do you have
she
a
does,
story?
and I feel like I got it from her.
Okay.
And I don't mean to like go back and forth, but I just like had so many thoughts in my head. Jadyn, when you mentioned that you are learning Vietnamese, like was that a personal choice?
Yeah, like so I've always truthfully for me with my like I'm Asian or my dad is Vietnamese, my mom is Lao and Cambodian, but truthfully I've had a hard time like identify I look like it is what is the surface level thing, but I've had a hard time personally identifying with either cultures,
Mm,
particularly because like somebody will start talking to me in Vietnamese, but I can't respond and I don't even like
Mm.
understand him. So it's almost like a truthfully, the thing that I struggle with is like almost shame for not knowing it, but also it's because I don't want to blame my parents, but like they didn't like they raised me like they talked to me in English, so
Mm.
I can't like I wasn't taught the language, so
yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't learn it.
Do you
Um,
think that you are not able to connect to your culture as much because
I think so, honestly. Like it's almost harder for me, but that's why for me, like now I'm older, I can like buy a course or I can just try to be more intentional with practicing
Mm,
it. So like I'm just almost taking accountability to learning the language so that I can, because really I think when we say language, it's about meaning. Like different languages have different meaning.
Mhm.
Even though
yeah.
like in English, um like there's I think the concept of language is really fascinating, but just I think I'm almost one step backwards with understanding my like cultural identities because I
Mm,
don't yet speak the
Hmm.
languages that they
yeah.
have.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
What about you, Sam? Do you feel like you have a specific way of to language or?
I feel like I'm always very like back and forth. Like Spanglish is a very big thing for
Mhm.
me. It's like I like randomly forget a word in English, and I'm like, ah,
Yeah.
it's this in
Mhm.
Spanish, and then or like the opposite. So sometimes it's like I don't know. It's very like back and forth,
My dad
and
used to
like
get so mad about it. My
really
dad
Yeah.
hates Spanglish. He's like, or you're speaking English to me, or you're speaking
speaking
Spanish.
Spanish.
But you cannot like blend it. Like
Oh my
it will
gosh.
be a big thing. Like because when we moved here, we were learning English, so we started to like kind of mix to just like practice it. I guess at home with my
Yeah.
siblings. And my dad, he was like, mm. Are you
Mm.
gonna
Yeah.
speak completely English to me, or are you gonna speak Spanish? Because my dad speaks English. He studied in New Mexico, so he knew English very well. But he was like, "Don't mix those languages. Like, or you're gonna
Mhm.
talk one, or you're gonna speak the other one."
It helps to like
My
learn it though, because then you learn
yeah.
the like rules of the language
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it also makes it harder. Uh,
because
like when I came to the US that very first year in school, I was not allowed to be even like in the Spanish class, even though the
mm,
rest of my classmates were. I had to dedicate that time for English.
Mm.
And my teachers would say that sometimes it's not good to go like back and forth and do like the Spanglish, especially in the early stages of learning a new language, because then you rely so much on translating it rather than just like
Mm-hmm.
learning
Like
it.
Yeah.
brushing
Like,
yourself.
you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My school honestly kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
It was
And then I
like,
learned it was assimilation.
yes. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
But
yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
rico to hablar en Spanglish. I
Mhm.
it flows in a
It just
different
comes
level.
out.
Yeah.
Like it's so like it just does its own thing. Yeah, no, my
Yeah.
mom used to hate when like me or my brother talked in English. She'd be like, "You are supposed to be talking Spanish. This is a Spanish household." And now that she's trying to learn English,
English,
she's
like,
like,
can you speak?
"Can you speak in English?" And I'm like, "Not anymore."
Yeah,
I used to get
time
scolded for
changes.
it.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
yeah. I think with my Latin friends, I will speak Spanglish in
Mhm.
case I forgot one word. But like
Yeah.
I usually try because like Spanish is my first language and English is my second. So actually I try to embrace the English part more because I'm more like challenging myself to learn more and like pressure myself. So I
Yeah.
hate when people like, I don't hate it, but like, oh, I love your accent. Thank you. But like, don't make me speak Spanish
Yeah.
unless like you're really struggling to speak to
Mm,
me in English.
Mhm.
And it's not like
mm,
because of racist thing. Like it's more because I'm still learning too. So
Mhm.
I prefer
Yeah.
to push myself in my second language than my first one.
eh,
Then I
yeah.
forgot Spanish now.
And I feel like that was no, yeah, I totally relate
So
to that. And lately, I l- I don't know, like I've been asking folks to challenge me to speak Spanish because like I've
Mm.
been forgetting everything.
Mhm.
And also like I agree with what you said, Jadyn, because I feel like it's allowing me to connect with my culture even more. Like last year I went to a Mana concert and it was the first time in like I don't know, like 10 like 15 years that I had gone to a concert that it was like Spanish
Spanish.
music, and I just started remembering so many things when I was younger, that I was in school playing the guitar and I was playing that song, and like how my grandma and I used to listen to these songs and whatnot. And it was so overwhelming because I'm like, wow, if it wasn't for this, like the smallest thing, like language, allowed me to go back and remember those happy times
Yeah.
that otherwise I would have just kept pushing away and maybe
Forgotten.
That's why
yeah,
I
I
don't
would
go
have
to
forgotten.
rancheras.
Yeah,
Mm.
well, this was a lovely conversation. I'm like,
Yes.
I think I'm gonna
Yes.
have to have some time to reflect on
Mm.
everything that
And
we talked
few
about, because
things,
I'm like,
yeah.
now I want to ask my mom
For
all these
sure.
questions. But I'm wondering, you guys, what's one word or phrase that you're taking away, like from the session? How do you feel?
I think for me, I reflected of what, and it's gonna be sound very simple, but it's like what's mine, it's mine.
Mm.
Mm,
Mm.
And like you make things yours in your own way, and that's a pretty unique touch in life.
Mhm.
And I think we should do it not too often, but also not to forget about it. So
mm,
you know,
yeah.
what's mine, it's mine. What about you, Sam?
um, I don't know right now, honestly.
I can
It's a lot.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you?
I just keep thinking of the word grace, because I feel like a lot of times I'm so hard with myself.
Mm.
And like I mentioned at the beginning, like I'm still trying to figure things out of like what's coming from me versus like what my family has taught me. And like that's okay.
Hmm.
So I should give myself grace a little bit more in my family, because I know like, some things have been passed down to generations, and like if I'm doing something that is different because of my decision, it's okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
Amen.
My one word would just be proud. I yeah, I feel bad now because again, not bad, but like this session, actually recording has taught me that it isn't as easy as just sitting down and talking and choosing lyrics. So, proud of not only myself for like pushing through this, but also just like for everybody who's like sitting
Yes.
in and being vulnerable in front. Like 'cause these are cameras, and then letting us
Yeah.
like record and share your stories. So yeah, just proud.
Thank you for being
Yeah.
here, by the way.
Yeah. Sam?
I I just say like amor, like love.
Mm.
Oh.
I don't know, like a lot of love for culture and for people and
Hmm.
for their culture, and like I don't know. I just think it's really interesting, like cool.
Yeah,
Love.
it's about embracing both things.
Right.
You
Yeah.
and
You
the culture,
and the
yeah.
culture.
That's yeah.
Yep.
That's the
I
lesson of the
love
day.
that. Well,
Well,
For
thank you
sure.
so much for watching.
yeah,
We'll
thank
see you in the next
you.
episode. Bye.
Bye.